They know.
They'll know at the same time. So they should be opening by 1 and we'll have to take over.
They don't have to wait for your call. They get a letter. Okay.
How are you?
So we're going to start with them just giving a few words intro, and then you can pan over, and this is where we can send you the PowerPoint slides.
Okay.
But this
Okay.
is,
Cool. And then we'll do interviews after. Yeah. Perfect. Awesome. Great. Thanks so much.
Sure.
Yeah, they do. Way home. Then tomorrow morning, resident from the
That's what I needed.
Oh, yeah, it's fun. I'm watching with the camera because every camera so far has been different. So it just goes around and then you just.
Oh, that one's easy. And then if sometimes it doesn't, if it's not sticking, it's with this. This is some, but sometimes it's like this. Oh no, no. Sometimes it's weird and you can't get it on it if you can't just pull it back. But clearly it was working.
Camera was like you had to put it in and then move that thing over to the side and lock it in.
Oh yeah, camera first. You have to camera 3 just like camera 3 is also a big camp.
Yeah, I got the notification.
I must have like run into dust up or something.
Do we need another?
Yeah, I've got this right here. Well, yes. Not on YouTube yet. On YouTube, yes. We're just broadcasting this right now.
what about Facebook and ours?
Working on
I'm
it.
just wondering. So Drew Jones says she sees it now. I gave her the SMH line and also the Facebook.
Okay, so she may be getting it from YouTube.
Can you ask her if she sees it on Facebook, please? But she sees it on the on our page.
Oh, fine.
Yeah, it's the same.
She might only see that. We are going to start in the next
I'm gonna go live with this one. I'm gonna go live on the other one.
I've got time.
Yeah,
That'll work.
it's not working on Facebook again, so.
I'm curious to read about myself. Yeah.
Which backdrop do you want?
Maybe if we do it with the hospital things happen.
They'll be talking there. So.
Oh yeah, you can do it. We're not gonna make that. Let's do it. Maybe the background. Okay. have you stand over here. Balloons in the background.
Okay. I just got the notification. Oh, they're doing. We're live. So the interview's gonna be live on there. Okay.
Well, I'm gonna, it's right here actually.
Alright, I'm actually going to have you look over this way. Okay. This side of the camera. You can just watch and make sure.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. So you are on the microphone. You just have to look at me. Can you state and spell your name for me?
Wilhelmina Vincent Roman. Wilhelmine.
You're supposed to be starting here.
Okay, doctor. Okay, so talk a little bit about your first program, first residency.
Well, today is a very exciting day. It's a culmination of a year and a half worth of work. Our program was initially accredited in April of 2016, and it's the first internal medicine residency program, first residency program at Sarasota Memorial Hospital. And it's in partnership with Florida State University, who's a sponsoring institution, who put all of the training through.
Right, and talk a little bit about the residents.
Absolutely. So today's match day. So all across the country, about 42,000 students, medical students from the United States and all over the world find out where they train. And so for us, that will be today. And it's actually at around 1 o'clock. Actually, probably now people are starting to open their envelopes. So we have matched 13 applicants. We are accredited for 13 per year. So by 2020, we will have 39. They are all outstanding, and we're delighted to have them in our program. And in a few minutes, we will hear who they are.
Okay, yeah, and they're going to be at this hospital and also at the Newtown Center, correct?
Correct. So in this hospital, they will be doing their inpatient rotations, and in Newtown, they will be having their own continuity practice. So they're going to establish relationships with patients and see them throughout their 3 years of training.
Right, yeah, talk a little bit about how important that is for that Newtown community to be able to have access to that care.
Well, you know, one of the greatest things that we see with underserved communities is that transportation is a huge barrier. So having access to care in the community that you live in obviously overcomes that great barrier. And not only will they be able to take care of the management of their chronic conditions, such as diabetes and high blood pressure, but you can also do preventive medicine as well. So we have a lot of partnerships for the community of Newtown to be able to provide and maximize the services that we provide.
Great. And talk a little bit about the benefits of having a residency program at hospital and what that means.
So the benefits of having a residency program are huge. So one of them that is, even though, you know, obviously Sarasota Memorial is a 5-star rated hospital, anytime you have residents and you have students, you raise the caliber of the care that's provided. Physicians keep more on their toes because they have to teach the residents about what they're saying. The residents come back and say, well, here's the latest article or the latest research that shows this. So it always helps tremendously by increasing the care that we provide. Not only that, we hope residents usually stay close to where they train. And so as of a couple of years ago, we were already almost 50 primary care physicians short in the community of Sarasota. So our goal is that we provide them with such an exceptional, not only training experience, but overall experience in the community of Sarasota, that some of them will choose here to stay and establish their roots here.
Right, yeah, absolutely. And you know,
We take that very, very seriously. Obviously, patient safety and quality are obviously top concerns, and so there are numerous mechanisms to ensure that the residents are adequately supervised.
anything else you'd like to know?
Well, obviously today is a very exciting day for us, and soon we'll find out who our lucky 13 are, our 13 stars. So thank you.
All right, great. Thank you so much. Thank you. Great. It was great meeting you. That's what I meant to say. It's a watch picture.
Yeah.
I'm going to bring everybody up to the
Yeah, that worked. Great. And then, yeah, and then, and then you'll be able to see, like, the kids. Awesome. Great. And, yeah, if I could just get someone to talk about after that, a little bit about the position change and how that will try to help that kid. Because I know we brought in Wilhelmina, but I think we have someone who's more like established in the community.
We can have our chief.
Yeah, great. Thanks.
Couldn't have planned it better.
Like, tend to have a problem.
Yes. I just know that I might license it a little bit. I might just have to. Because if anything, so I was trying to get like the clover.
Right, they do it. Well, that was,
That's what I was gonna say.
She said, like,
I actually know that.
it was a big. Gotcha. It's tiny, bigger.
I mean, it's not pretty small, right?
Thank you. I'm starting to get some, and I never had them before. Yeah, I know it in here, so I can't stop. Tuesday.
Yeah, I've never had like other allergies, and I moved to
Because
Are we gonna have people come stand over this? Everybody's over there, so I'm like talking to Kenzie and not anyone else. You're taking all that, right? Yeah. You guys about ready? Are we live? All right. Well, good afternoon, and thank you for everyone for joining us today. Few events hold more drama or have more impact in the life of a medical student than Match Day. It's a day that graduating medical students across the country learn where they'll complete their residency and the requirements to become licensed physicians. It's an exciting coincidence that today falls on St. Patrick's Day this year, because we couldn't feel luckier to be introducing our program. In a few minutes, we'll announce the 13 new residents who will complete Sarasota Memorial's journey to become a teaching hospital. Up until now, we've had the privilege of training 3rd and 4th year students from FSU Medical School, but then had to watch as they left our community, our state, and to complete their graduate medical education and fight to get them back here. With FSU Medical College of Medicine, our academic partner, we now can recruit and retain the best and the brightest medical students, not just from FSU, but from across the world, into the new FSU Internal Medicine Residency Program at Sarasota Memorial Hospital. It's taken a village to make this dream become a reality today, but I wanted to take a brief moment to thank our leader, Dr. Wilhelmina Bisa-Ramesh, who you will hear from in a moment, but just know how much we appreciate your leadership, and we wouldn't be here without you today, so thank you. I'd also like to recognize that our hospital board has been very involved in this since day one when we started this project and our strategic plan 3 years ago, and we are lucky to have our chairman with us today, Mr. Greg Carter. And Mr. Carter, I'd like to ask you to come up and say a few words if you would.
Thank you, David. It's my privilege to represent the board at today's event. I would like to thank you and your leadership, David, for the team for your hard work and dedication. Chief Operating Officer Lori Lang, Chief Medical Officer Dr. Steve Taylor, and our Residency Program Director, Dr. Bisa-Ramesh. Although she could not be here today, I'd also like to recognize the hard work of Dr. Karen Hammett, our Associate Program Director, and also Katie Axiotis, who's here with us today. As David said, becoming a teaching hospital was the next logical step for Sarasota Memorial. But it became even more important to the nation's physician shortage as the nation's physician shortage worsened. At least 2/3 of medical students were leaving our state after earning their medical degree due to the lack of residency slots in Florida. The shortage of physicians in our region is more challenging than the rest of the state. We know that many physicians end up practicing near where they complete their residency, so the process of selecting and ranking applicants is a very important one for Sarasota Memorial and our entire region. I had the privilege to be part of the team that met the residents applying to our program. We had more than 4,000 applicants and selected nearly 200 to interview. Over the course of several months, we interviewed and ranked applicants based on the care and commitment they will bring to our community. The interview process was very thorough, and personally I was impressed with the caliber and diversity of medical students who came to us for consideration. My only regret is that we can only accept 13 of them. So at this time, it is my distinct honor to introduce the program director for the FSU Internal Medicine Residency Program at Sarasota Memorial, Dr. Wilhelmina Bisa-Ramesh.
Thank you, Mr. Carter. As you recall, this journey started a few years ago, but about a year ago, in April of 2016, we received accreditation with commendation by the Accreditation Council for Graduate Medical Education. We were approved for 13 residents per year, for a total of 39 residents by 2020. In a few minutes, we will find out the names of our first-year residents that comprise our inaugural class. But to echo what was said earlier, today thousands of medical graduates from all over the country and all over the world are going to learn the specialty and location of residency programs where they will train. In internal medicine, the period of training is 3 years. Other specialties are longer. So for example, if you're going to be a neurosurgeon, you train for 7 years. This year has been the largest match in the history of the National Residency Matching Program, exceeding 42,000 applications in more than 4,800 residency programs across the country. As we speak, medical students are actually opening their envelopes to find out where they will go. So just to give you a little bit of an idea of what the process entails, in the fall, students actually apply. So by September 15, which is the day that the match opens, this year in 2016, we already had, as it opened at 9 a.m., 2,500 applications from the get-go. And you're thinking, how are we gonna go through this, right? And that number increased to about 4,000. Then between the fall and winter months, the applicants come and interview. From about mid-January to February, we actually rank the applicants and they rank us. And so then a computer actually generates the matching process, and they use a pretty fancy algorithm, and then today is when we find out. So on average, programs that fill rank about 11 to 12 individuals per spot. In our case, we ended up interviewing a total of 171 and ranked 137. As a program, though, we were specifically looking at individuals that wanted to stay in Florida or had ties to Florida, but that also excelled in their humanistic skills as demonstrated by their work either with vulnerable populations or displaying the attributes that contribute to our community. We were looking at the whole thing, the whole person. So it is with great excitement that we announce to you our first class. This slideshow is in alphabetical order, so I will tell you. First we have Talal Al-Khayali. Talal went to medical school at Jordan University of Science and Technology. He has volunteered to assist Syrian refugees in Jordan while he was there, helping with medication and food aid. He's currently in California and is conducting colorectal cancer research, taekwondo, and